My name is Judas. You might be wondering how I ended up here. I'll tell you if you like. Might help pass the time. It's a good name. Judas, it's a strong name. It's a heroic name. The first of my heroic namesakes was Judas Maccabee, who led a revolt against the Greeks, restored the temple wielding the sword of his conquered enemy. To remember him, we celebrate Hanukkah. The second of the heroic Judases that I'm named after was Judas the Galilean. Like Maccabee, and like his father Hezekiah, he also led revolt. He said that paying the Romans taxes and living by their law was blasphemy. The Romans, the leaders, they called Hezekiah, Judas, and his followers, at best, zealots, fanatical fighters for God. At worst, they called us bandits, thieves, criminals. My brother Simon and I grew up with the bandits, zealots. When we grew old enough, we took part in the jobs, in the raids. Of course we did. Israel needs a hero right now. To fight the Romans. It's part of who we are, Jews, to look for a hero. To look for the next coming Messiah to save us, to bring back the kingdom of God. Some of them believed that it was Judas the Galilean. My brother Simon thought he'd found the Messiah in a different Galilean, Jesus. Although he was from Nazareth, he became popular as a preacher in Galilee. Thousands of people went out into the desert to hear this guy talk. And Simon dragged me along, trying to convince me that I should be a follower of Jesus too. All he did was talk about peace. All he did was say, he talked about the kingdom of God a lot, which is great, it's good. But he said the kingdom will grow first in the hearts of people, and then the kingdom will come. What does that even mean? Kingdoms don't just come, they're carved. They're fought for, they're taken with blood, sweat, lives. Whatever Jesus was on about, it was not going to get rid of the Romans quickly. He said, if a Roman centurion asked you to carry his pack for a league, carry it too. He said, render unto Caesar what was Caesar's. I'm not accepting that. At worst, he said, love your enemy. Whatever I thought, Simon was enamored, completely captured. I left my brother with his Messiah. I went to find my own. I found Barabbas. Barabbas was a man of action, getting it done. He had a band of men, 100 strong, maybe more, causing havoc all across Galilee. That's how the will of God is done. That's how the kingdom is brought. Always, the kingdom is brought by fighters, kings, David, Saul, Judas, Maccabee, Judas the Galilean. Barabbas was in that company. And I wanted my chance to live up to my name. So I joined him. Climbed his ranks. It wasn't long before I was leading bands and raids myself. Leading up to the Passover, Barabbas knew that Jerusalem would be ripe for the picking. So we headed in that direction. We came to the gates disguised as farmers, our weapons hid under carts of hay. We didn't expect extra security. We didn't expect more soldiers. We were stopped. We were searched. They found our weapons. Some of us fought. Me, Jacob, Barabbas. Most of the men fled until it was just us three, captured, thrown into prison, flogged, sentenced to death by crucifixion. So I ended up here. Saw it coming, I guess. The guards bring someone else in. Shove him inside and tie him up to the whipping post. Tie him up, crack the whip across his back. I recognized that face when they pushed him in. It's Jesus. The man I'd seen in the desert. The man who talked about peace, loved your enemy. What was he doing here? They jeered and mocked him. Thought you'd conquer Jerusalem on a donkey, did ya? We'll show you how to be king of the Jews. Crack! He didn't make a sound. Or he grunted in pain once or twice, but they draped a filthy purple robe across him, shoved a crown of thorns hard onto his head. I didn't understand it. How could they treat this man like this? The three of us, yeah, we're criminals, bloodied, red-handed. Him, he talked about love. Talked about peace. Talked about all people. All he did was meet with Romans, tax collectors, sinners, women. I didn't understand it. And the whole time he just looked at them like he felt sorry for them. They took him away for a time. So we waited. And we waited. One of the soldiers who was left told us that he was sure to join us in death in the morning. They say he rode into a donkey, hearing the crowds cry, "Hail the King of Jews!" They say he walked into the temple and cleared out the market with whips of cord. Just like Judas Maccabee did. I mean, there's no way that was true. There's no way he restored the temple like Judas Maccabee did. There's no way he brought the kingdom of God back to the Jews. Is there? When they brought him back, he looked at me. His gaze was piercing. It was unrelenting. I mean, it filled me with fear and shame and something odd shaped underneath my chest. Suddenly there were shouts of, "Crucify! Barabbas!" I know it's the end. I know it's time. And yet a Roman soldier came in, opened Barabbas' cell first and said, "You're free to go, Barabbas. Jesus will die in your place." Here we are. 3 crosses on Skull Hill. It doesn't make any sense. Jacob and I, okay, but what is Jesus doing here? And still, all he does is pray and beg for them to forgive. Beg the Lord to forgive them. And then I remember everything he taught, every word he said between Galilee. Every time he said that we must love our enemy. All the time Simon told me about the sermons he preached on love and forgiveness. I realized I was wrong. I was the stupid one for not following him, and I was wrong! I wish I could tell Simon. I wish I could tell him I understand. I thought I saw him in the crowd. And then Jacob starts yelling, swearing, spitting venom at the crowd, and Jesus too. Oh, I was wrong. And all I can do, that odd feeling in my chest, it bursts and I cry with the last hope of a dead man. Jesus! Remember me when you come into your kingdom. And the sweetest sound, the voice of love, rose over the crowd. Said, today, you will be with me in paradise.